Hello, I'm Professor Wynn. Welcome to episode number 60 of the English Language TestPrep.com blog, an introduction to vocabulary report number 2. If you're studying for the TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, or PTE exam, one of the best moves you can make is to increase your vocabulary. Every 2 weeks on my Substack, I produce a vocabulary report to help test candidates to increase their vocabulary skills so they get the highest score possible. Let's go ahead and take a look at an introduction to vocabulary report number 2. Each vocabulary report begins with an inspirational quote. And today's quote comes from Norman Vincent Peale, who said, "People become really quite remarkable when they start thinking that they can do things. When they believe in themselves, they have the first secret of success." And the English Language Test Prep radio podcast and Exam English Vocabulary Substack are devoted to your test success so that you have the skills you need from English to vocabulary to test skills to get the highest score possible. Let's take a look now at all the things you get in the full report of vocabulary report number 2. As always, 3 less common vocabulary terms, 3 food collocations, 3 animal idioms, 3 come phrasal verbs, and yes, the proverb. To access the full report, go to my Exam English Vocabulary Substack at bit.ly/EE002. Less common vocabulary term today, legacy, a noun that means something that happened in the past or that came from someone in the past. For example, Lynn had to overcome a legacy of poor grades and misbehavior to graduate finally. Our food collocation, heavy meal, a lot of food to eat at breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Example, Irma prefers a hot stack of pancakes for her heavy meal at breakfast. Your animal idiom, to bug someone, to irritate or annoy someone, especially with many questions. For example, Joyce wouldn't stop bugging her boss about taking Friday off. And come up, the phrasal verb, to approach, to appear, to meet by chance, inseparable. And it's very important to remember when studying phrasal verbs to find out whether the phrasal verb is inseparable or separable. And in the vocabulary report, I tell you. Example, Betty was hoping the topic of her new boyfriend would not come up in her lunch with friends. Well, that's our video review of episode 60 for the vocabulary report number 2. You can subscribe to get all the vocabulary reports, plus all of the other materials I post throughout the week on the Substack at Exam English Vocabulary so that you can increase your word power before the big exam day. Simply go to bit.ly/exam-e-sub. And of course, for the full vocabulary report, which you have free access for the vocabulary report number 1 and this report, vocabulary report number 2, simply go to bit.ly/EE002. Think about becoming a premium subscriber so you don't miss any other of the vocabulary reports that are upcoming. Well, that's a review of vocabulary report number 2 in the English Language Test Prep radio podcast episode number 60. I'm Professor Wynn. Good luck studying to increase your word power and get the highest score possible on the TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, or PTE exam.